Darren, the name Raconteur firmly entrenched in today's racebook. Got a set of binoculars there that, date back to Raconteur, if not further.
They do actually, Wes. These are from the Second World War, these binoculars that have been handed to me today by a gentleman by the name of Jeff Chatfield, whose father, Doug Chatfield, was one of the great commentators, the racing broadcasters here back in the 40s, 50s and then into the 60s as well. And during his great career behind the microphone, Doug broadcast Raconteur to all of his wins in WA, including the Derby, of course. He was a great crowd favourite, Raconteur, amongst punters and racegoers alike. And these wonderful old binoculars have been presented to me today to broadcast the Raconteur Stakes with. Now, I'm not quite sure the last time they were used for calling races, but I thought it was a great honour and a wonderful opportunity for me to say thank you to the Chatfield family for being able to allow me this opportunity. It'll be a great thrill.
It certainly will be. We caught up with Jeff on Wednesday here at Ascot, and we had a look at the binoculars, and they're still in pretty good condition.
Well, look, they are, Wes. They are in beautiful condition. As you can see, they look well and truly as though they have come from the Second World War, but they're in magnificent condition. Oh, geez, there you go. That was close.
Deft of hand.
It was nearly a fall. But look, they are in magnificent condition, there's no doubt, and they're beautiful to look through. They're crystal clear. They're only a 7x50 binocular. We normally use a 10x50 for broadcasting, but these were made in the USA. They're a New York made binocular, as I've found out, and look, they're an absolute collector's piece, and I'll be really looking forward to parking the peepers through the 7x50s this afternoon for the Raconteur Stakes. It's a one-off, and I'll tell you what, I hope I do Doug Chatfield and these binoculars proud.
I'm sure you will. I'm pretty sure that Jeff will be proud when he gets to see them on the Perth Racing website. But look, we'll catch up later in the day, and we'll get the vision from the caller's box and seeing Dee McCauley in action with, how old would they be now? 70 years old?
Well, they've got to be at least that, Wes, as far as I can tell. But they've been looked after magnificently. They've been housed in this rather unique old case that it looks dead set like it was out of the Second World War as well.
I was going to say it looks like your old school bag.
Yeah, might find a Vegemite sandwich in there, Wesley. But look, it's a beautiful piece of equipment, and as I say, really looking forward to hooking them up onto the Binoc stand later and calling the Raconteur Stakes with them today. And they are on their way here to the gates for the Grant Thornton Raconteur Stakes, a race where I'm using a set of binoculars from the Second World War that were used to call all of Raconteur's wins during the 1950s, the great horse of his era. And these have been handed to me by Jeff Chatfield. Jeff, the son of caller Dougie Chatfield, who was one of the best broadcasters of his time. And these old binoculars, there they are, on screen at the moment, have not been used to call a race since early 1960. And I'll tell you what, they're as clear today as they were when they were made way back 60, 70 years ago. Crafted in New York, these beautiful old binoculars, and they're about to place them in with proper antes, sporting blinkers here today for the first time, about to join the line. The Londoner, Van Ripper, Fireborn, Muskets at Dawn, also Blitz'em Someday. A brave effort in the Southwest Breeders' Classic over there in company with the winner of that race, the filly, Belle La Vie, and also Do You Do. So, Bowler Doosra goes up, 1,500 the journey. As we wait for the last 5 or 6 of them to move in, with Belle La Vie, 320, 520 number 2, proper antes. 740 Fireborn, 940 about number 5 Muskets at Dawn. I'll say one thing, when you're accustomed to using 10x50s and switch back to these old 7x50 binoculars, they seem a darn side further away than normal. But these beautiful old binoculars that we're using from the Second World War to call the Raconteur Stakes not used to describe an event since the early 1960s, as I'm led to believe. And we're producing them today for the Raconteur Stakes. Doug Chatfield called the great 3-year-old with these very binoculars, and we're using them this afternoon for the Raconteur. Now in goes the Londoner, and the field is set. Racing now in the Raconteur. The last of them to go was Helms Gate. Van Ripper lacked a little bit of early speed also. Proper Antes from the inside. Muskets at Dawn and now coming over. Blitz'em Someday looking for the lead. And as they come onto the 1250 turn, Blitz'em Someday leads Fireborn, who's getting a little fired up. Muskets at Dawn had to ease, and Do You Do strode up around it. Then Bowler Doozra. Proper Antes just wanted to drop the bit in the early stages. Got back in a slackening speed. 3/4 the Londoner, followed by Helms Gate, then came Angel Sky, who's back there, followed by Van Ripper. Last of all is the filly Belle La Vie. She settled about 10 lengths from the leader Blitz'em Someday. As they went past the 900, Blitz'em Someday in front, 3/4 on the stablemate Do You Do, and then came Fireborn, who's down on the inside. He's beautifully placed. The same could be said for Muskets at Dawn, who's had a great trip running fourth, a length and a half to Bowler Doozra at the 600. Proper Antes is jammed away on the fence now, about 3/4 to the Londoner. Helms Gate tucked away next on the rail, then Angel Sky. There goes the Bunbury filly Belle La Vie from last around them. She's going to have to circle the field, and getting back to last is Van Ripper at the top of the home straight now, and Muskets at Dawn, Do You Do have come together from Blitz'em Someday, fighting a length and a half to Proper Antes, around their heels and about to run on, but Belle La Vie still a long way back, and Fireborn's down on the rail. Proper Antes at the 100 on the outside of Do You Do. Blitz'em Someday, Proper Antes in front, the Londoner coming with a great burst late, but it's Proper Antes. Proper Antes 3/4 over the Londoner and Muskets at Dawn, and close up is Belle La Vie, Do You Do, Blitz'em Someday together near the fence, and they were followed behind them by Van Ripper, Helms Gate, Fireborn, Angel Sky, and the last of them home in the Raconteur Stakes of 2015 is Bowler Doozra.